Hey everybody, Jeff Loke here, and in this tutorial we're going to cover how to choose your keywords for your campaign. Be sure to be signed into your Google AdWords account, and we're going to click on the Reporting and Tools tab and the Keyword Tool option here. The reason that you want to access this from your AdWords account is Google will actually give you more results. This is a tool that can be accessed externally, meaning you don't have to be signed into your AdWords account. But I recommend actually signing in because you'll get more results. You'll see this page come up. You can actually search by word or phrase, or you can put your website. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you have that pretty well optimized for your keywords, because Google is going to assign what they feel that page, what is relevant to that page. So you can really come up with your own ideas for word or phrase, and we'll show you how to build your website so it becomes more relevant for the keywords you choose. For our example, we're going to run with Harrisburg, PA townhomes. So that's the main keyword that I'm going to put up here in the search. And I'm actually not going to click this because I do want synonyms that are going to be closely related to that. There is an advanced options here if you want to play around with this stuff, but I never use that. Not really a need to. And then we're going to run the search. Be sure that you have all these columns. It's good to know how much competition there is, the global versus local searches, and for this type of market, usually these will be closely matched for the most part, except for when you get some really broad terms like homes for rent. To add or change columns, just click up here, and that's how you can choose what shows up. And we're going to also want the exact and phrase match. We'll go into another training about the difference with all of these, but for now, just go with that and choose all three variations that appear. So we're going to start clicking through all the different keyword variations that we're going to use. So our page is Harrisburg, PA townhomes. Anything that's closely related to Harrisburg, PA townhomes, I'm going to use. So townhouses, Harrisburg, PA is great. Sunpoint is great because that's a really targeted keyword. Townhomes, Harrisburg, PA. A lot of these things we'll see very closely related, but you'll be surprised. Google calls them all separate phrases because there's a little variation in each, and it's amazing how each commands a different type of market, different amount of clicks for your ads, and also a different conversion rate. So you definitely want to play around with all the variations. Now, as you're building your list, I always advise to start small. The reason being, you don't want to overwhelm yourself, especially if this is your first campaign. There's no need to build a massive list of words that you need to frantically try to keep up with. So what I advise is to have ideally between 5 and 10 ad groups, which really the lower amount being the better to start with, and you can always add to, and that way you can better monitor what's going on in your account from the start, and when you start to find what works well and what's converting, you can start to add more keywords, and you can make tweaks and changes as you go. So we don't have to completely jump in headfirst right away. So start small and build from there. Now what I mean by 5 to 10 ad groups is, as an example, Sunpoint Townhomes Harrisburg, PA will be in a separate ad group than Townhouses Harrisburg, PA. The reason being, we're going to create ads around these keywords so that they're more relevant, our users more likely to click on our ad. We're going to have a higher click-through rate, better conversions, and lower cost. So that's what an ad group is, words that are going to be related to, for example, one ad group would be townhouses, Harrisburg, PA. So if we find a keyword that says townhouses in Harrisburg, PA, that will be also part of that ad group. I would recommend not having any more than 10 to 20 keywords per ad group. So we're looking for 5 to 10 ad groups with no more than 10 to 20 keywords in each of those ad groups to start. It can even be less. It could be 3 or 4 keywords to start. Doesn't matter. Google doesn't care, and it's good to have lower amounts to start so that you can really manage those well. So for starters, it's good to focus on very niche specific keywords such as Sunpoint, Townhomes, or Townhomes Harrisburg, PA. And over time you can even build to a more broad list in terms that cover a wider audience. As an example, you might run the terms like townhomes in PA, or townhomes for rent. And obviously these could be searches being conducted anywhere. We'll show you how to hone in on your audience so that you are only displaying your ads to an audience that's within your local area. But for the time being, you may not want to focus on such broad terms. If you'd like to add those, fine. We'll show you how to target those so that you're not getting unwanted traffic. But initially, it's good to just focus on a small amount of words, especially the niche specific, and then you can start to add those broader terms as we move on. Also, Harrisburg, PA is not good because they're searching more about the city than they are about homes. We don't want to deal with renters, so we're not going to choose anything that talks about rent, even if it is along the lines of townhomes for our campaign. It might be different for you. You might want to mark to renters and also to buyers. That's fine. That's going to be your choice. And you might have a totally different niche, like foreclosures or first-time home buyers or sellers. But Google will provide all kinds of feedback based on the keywords that you want to utilize. So keep it targeted. Don't go too broad. Usually you want to choose phrases that are at least 3 words or more, typically. And that's a good rule of thumb. I'm going to pause this, be back once you build your list, and show you the next steps. Okay, we're back here, and I chose my list. I'm going to now download these by clicking up here, and you can click Selected. And there's all different options here. Most people will have Excel, so we'll download to that, and we'll open that list. Now, as another side tip, going back here real quick to the search, you can page through just by, as you're selecting words, just select these arrows down here, and that'll take you to the other pages. And also, while we're on this page, you can see competition. We're in a highly competitive market for the most part. Clicks are decently expensive. What Google shows here, it's typically even more for the approximate cost per click. They're telling you what approximate will get you so that you're showing on like the first page, but usually you're gonna have to pay more than that. And you want some decent search volume too. Definitely want to find some keywords that are going to bring in some good searches per month, but you'll have to also balance what your budget can handle, and competition. The higher competition, obviously, the higher the price. So you can always run a deeper search. So what I mean by that is, here's a spreadsheet. To open these columns, you'll see this little symbol come up in between. You can double click to expand, or you can drag like that. So I'm going to open these so you can read everything I'm seeing here. And then let's say I want to take the word now. If you want to expand this list, right now I have 43 keywords, which is plenty for this example. But we could take Harrisburg, PA townhomes for sale, and then we could start running a search on that. So we go back to Google, and we plug that in, and then you search that. And that's going to give you a bunch of different other terms. Some will still be related to our old search, but you might find some things that aren't included in the original search. So that's the way to hone down and build keywords off of the keywords you already have. Or maybe I could choose something like, this is really targeted, Sun Point townhomes, and I could plug that into the search and see if that gives me anything that I want to add to my list. Again, I'm not going to add anything else right now, but as you can see, it builds some other possible keywords for you to use. Okay, next we're going to start breaking down this list per grouping, and let me just check the time here on this. I want to make sure that we keep these relatively compact so it's not going on too long per training, but it seems like we're doing well. So I'm going to break these up by rows so that I can really easily read the different groupings. Harrisburg, PA townhomes is definitely going to be different than townhouses, Harrisburg, PA. We're going to use totally different ads for those. This is definitely going to be split as well, since that's a very specific townhouse community. Townhomes, Harrisburg, PA can be included. So I'm going to hit Control X, or I think it might be Command X on a Mac, where you can right click and click Cut, and then we're going to go up here, going to right click right below, and we're going to insert cut cells to group those together. And moving on, Harrisburg, PA townhomes for sale. That's another group. Oh, this is a mistake. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania homes. I don't want that. I could keep it in there, but we're focusing specifically on townhomes for now. So for the sake of the example, I'm going to get rid of those. You maybe, in your opinion, would have kept those. It's going to depend on your campaign and what your goals are. So this is basically the process I go through to find what the groupings will be. So I'm going to pause this, you get the idea, and then we'll move on from here to the next step. Okay, so I've put these together according to what I think might be the best fit for per ad group. And these can always be changed. If certain keywords seem to not be performing well, you can always cut them out and create their own ad group. So for now, this is a good start. As you can see, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ad groups, so I kept it low. Most keywords have less than 10, which is great. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the biggest one has 15 keywords, and that's probably about as high as you want to go, right around that 10 to 20 range. And this is a great list. I mean, this is probably more than you even need to do. I just want to show you how much opportunity is out there, and that's how you get started. So you might really want to try to get it to look like groups just like this, where you have about 5 ad groups and just a really minimal amount of keywords to start until you get comfortable with the system, whatever works for you. And we can always add to this and change it. And I think these are pretty good pairings. As you can see, I chose to keep all the townhouses Harrisburg keywords together, townhomes in Harrisburg together, or the ones with townhomes Harrisburg, Harrisburg, PA townhomes for sale, Sun Point, townhouses in Harrisburg, PA. These are all related, and then the Harrisburg, PA townhomes all seem to be pretty well fit together, and they should really be. The keywords are very specific, and the ad copy used tailored to those groups should work and perform very well because they are very well grouped together. So just work around and find what you think will work best for you, and these can always be tweaked as you go depending on how the ads are performing.